What's up everyone, I'm Andrew and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how you can edit and customize WooCommerce checkout fields. So let's get started. So basically I have this website which is from one of our tutorials and you can just check it out, but we are going to change the checkout fields because it happens a lot that you want to change them. They are really a lot. So if you are selling something online or something digital, then you definitely want to remove the shipping addresses or things like that. But even if you are selling shipped products, you want to minimize them and make the process easier for your customers. So here I'm just going to basically bring a new private window so that we can see what we have in our checkout forms, and then I'm just going to show you how you can edit it. So here I have a private window on the right and we are just going to log in here. So basically I'm just going to click on this my account and we are going to register as a new user. So let's just make a new user, like a sample user. So basically I'm just logged in here and I'm just going to add a bunch of products to my shipping cart. So let's just add one or two and then I'm just going to continue to my cart and proceed to checkout. So as you can see, we have lots of fields here and this is just the way WooCommerce works out of the box. So you have lots of fields that it's really a big friction for your users. So we want to make this minimal. So basically we are going to add a new plugin that allows us to do this, and this is a really good plugin. I have tested many plugins, but this plugin is really feature rich. So you just have to bring plugins and add new and search for checkout field editor. And activate. So now we do have the plugin, and here in WooCommerce you should get a new section here called checkout form. So I can just click on it and it's going to display my checkouts. Now I have to make this screen a little larger so that we can see everything here, and we have our checkout field on the right and we are just going to edit some of these fields. So as you can see, we can just check some of these fields and then we can just remove them or disable them. So when you disable a field, it's not going to remove it, but it's not going to show it. So we can just change your mind and enable it later. And also you don't have to worry with this plugin because we have this reset to default fields. So if you even remove all of the fields here, you can just simply reset to the default fields. So for this example, let's just say that we do not want to have anything beside his first name and last name and email address. So this is what you want to do for a digital store. So you even do not need to have first name and last name. So we can just remove these additional items here. So I can just simply check all of them and then uncheck this first name, last name, and email. So we want to check all of them and then I can just simply disable them. So after disabling them, I have to just click on these save changes. And now the changes are saved, and if I refresh here, you can see that we have our new field. So we only have 3 fields. So that's it. That's all you have to do to remove a field. Now, anytime you can just simply reset to the default fields. It's going to ask you a question because you lose all of your fields. So it's really important. If you create a new field, which we will going to do in a minute, it's going to just remove it and you cannot undo this action. But basically we are just good here. So now as you can see, I have all of my fields here back again. Now I'm just going to show you how you can add a custom field. Of course, you can edit this field. So for example, you can change this first name field. You can just click on it, click on edit button, and we have the type and name, which you cannot change for this default field. You can change it for your own fields, but you can change the label. So it's called first name, but you can just change it simply to name. You have placeholder. So this is just the thing you see here. So if I just, for example, type John Doe here and save and close and save changes, you can see that we should get this John Doe here. and we sure get, so it's not actually a value here. I still have to input a value, but this is just an example, something that websites do to guide users so to how to format things like numbers or addresses, and that's very useful. So you can have your placeholder. You can also have a default value. It's going to actually be added to the field. So this is something you have to be very careful when having, and you can also have validation. So that's very cool. So if you are having a field which is holding an email or phone or postcode or a state or a number or URL, then you can just have this validation. It's going to automatically validate the result, just the way it validates your email address. So if you set it to number, then people cannot give it a word and it's going to show an error and the form cannot be submitted. So that's very cool. So you can just play with all of these fields, but what's even more cooler is the ability to have your own custom field. So that's very cool. So you can just simply click on add field and then create any kind of field that you want. So as you can see, we have different type of fields that you can have. So you can have a paragraph, a URL, month, date, week, heading, date and date, time, local, multi-select for selecting multiple elements, select for selecting some elements here, radio buttons, text area, phone, email, password, number, and also hidden, which is just a form that is not going to be shown, but it can be used in the front end. So this is something that you do with the combination of other plugins or other code, so you don't have to worry about it. It's just for technical reasons, but that's very cool. Now I'm just going to add a select option here, and let's just change the name to something new. For example, y_us. So here I cannot have spaces because this is the actual name of the field and it should not have any space. So here then I can just have the label. So I can just, for example, type why or how. Let's just type how did you find us. So that's cool. We have how did you find us, and then I can just have a bunch of answers here as the options. So the option number 1 is going to be Google, and then I can just, for example, have Facebook, and number 3 is going to be Instagram, and maybe other. Number 4. So I have 4 fields here and it's required and enabled. So that's cool. We also have display in email. So it's going to be displayed in the email that WooCommerce sends, and also in the order detail page. You can omit it if you do not want. For example, if you want to ask how did you find us, we are probably going to remove it from the emails and order detail page. So that's cool. Now we do not need a default value or a placeholder for this, so that's just fine. I can just save and close. And now we have our field here, but I can just move it anywhere I want. So I'm just going to move it to the top here so that we can see it better. And now if I save changes and refresh my page, we get this how did you find us field, and people can just select. So that's cool. That's very cool. And also we can take a look at shipping fields and additional fields. So it's actually grouping the fields into billing fields and shipping fields and additional fields. So your theme can display these fields in different steps. It depends on how WooCommerce is set up, but you can also change them here as well. That's very cool. And also we have this advanced setting that is going to give you a backup code. So that's very nice. So if you want to change this, so if you want to transfer this data into a new WordPress website or just have it, you can just copy this code and it's going to hold all of your data. So that's very cool, a very nice feature to have. And now basically I'm just going to show you where these fields are going to get stored. So we are going to make a dummy purchase here, but before that I'm just going to remove all these fields except this by us and also email and first name and last name. So we do need to have these, but I can just remove the others. So I can just click on remove or simply disable and save changes. And now I can just refresh, and as you can see, we have this nice field, and I can just enter a dummy information here like John Doe and email address, so that's cool. And now if I just place my order, so as you can see, we do not have any payment method, so I cannot place my order. But one trick that we can do is to just have a 100% coupon code that we can just use to test on such circumstances. So I have already created a coupon code. So if I just type free here and apply it, it's just going to give me 100% discount. And now I can just place my order, and we have our order here. And now if I just bring my orders, you can see that we have this new John Doe order. And also this by us field, so it's set to 1, meaning that they have found us within Google. So that's very important. You have access to these fields as a custom field. So that's very nice. And that's it, everyone. This is the end of this tutorial. Thanks for watching. If you like this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to our channel for more WordPress content. And like always, you can reach our team from the link in the description.